Tariffs are going live at midnight Eastern Time tonight. In this deep dive, you'll get the 5 product categories most likely to get costlier first, understand who truly pays the bill, and walk away with a realistic 30-90-day price timeline you can trust. Subscribe now so you don't miss our daily no-fluff explainers that cut through the noise. Okay, so as of 8:00 a.m. Pacific Time on May 14th, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative officially confirmed activation at midnight Eastern.
That's right, midnight tonight.
And this deep dive covers a broad range of manufactured goods and agricultural products.
Pretty wide scope, yeah.
Now, I should mention, there are a few specific medical devices and some niche electronics that will see phase-ins over the next 6 months.
Right, some exceptions.
But for pretty much everything else, the clock starts now. So our mission today is to turn these official notices into practical, actionable impacts for, your wallet and your business.
Making sense of the official jargon, basically.
Exactly. To guide us through this intricate landscape, we're focusing on 3 core questions. First, which product categories will experience price changes first? And, why are they leading the charge? Second, who genuinely pays? Is it the importers, the retailers, or does it ultimately land squarely on the consumer's shoulders?
The big question.
And third, how quickly do shelf prices actually shift after tariffs are enacted? We want to give you a real-world timeline to anticipate those changes. Okay, let's dive into the specifics here. Where should we expect to see the very first ripples of these new tariffs? Which categories are the canary in the coal mine, so to speak?
Well, what's truly fascinating, I think, is how quickly some supply chains are set to react. Like almost immediately in some cases.
Really?
Yeah. For electronics inputs and components, think of items like printed circuit boards, maybe the chargers that come with your devices, or those small sub-assemblies inside bigger gadgets.
Okay.
Their supply chains are like a fast-moving river, highly import-dependent, and with very, very little inventory sitting around as a buffer.
Ah, so no cushion.
Exactly. That means when a tariff hits, there's no old stock to clear out first. The new, higher cost flows straight through. You'll often see this first as maybe a sudden disappearance of sales or promotions, followed by a direct sticker price bump. It can be subtle at first, though.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, autos and EV parts. We're talking about the high-tech components like batteries, electric motors, complex wiring harnesses, that kind of thing.
Right, the expensive bits.
Precisely. Their supply chains are inherently global, incredibly intricate, and finding alternative sourcing or, building new factories takes significant time. We're talking years, not weeks.
Wow, okay.
So the initial impact here will be felt pretty deeply by fleet buyers and in the auto repair segment because they're constantly needing parts for immediate use.
Makes sense. What else?
Metals and tools. That's another critical area where the impact cascades rapidly. We're primarily looking at duties on raw base metals like steel and aluminum.
The basic building blocks?
Yeah. But those duties don't just stop at the raw material. They cascade down into all sorts of finished goods, particularly hand tools, power tools, even garden equipment.
Huh. So my weekend DIY project might get more expensive.
It's definitely possible. If you're planning something, keep a close watch on the tool sections of your local hardware stores, because that's where you'll likely see that early price creep on those essential items.
Good tip. Keep going.
Then we have appliances and various household devices. Specifically smaller kitchen gear, think blenders, toasters, maybe even parts for your home's HVAC system, they're likely to move first.
Why the small stuff first?
Well, the reason is that smaller SKUs, that's stock keeping units, basically individual product types, they generally move through inventory much, much faster than, say, a big refrigerator.
Ah, turnover.
Right. So while your new fridge price might lag a bit, that new smart coffee maker could reflect the tariff much sooner.
Okay, one more category.
And finally, machinery and industrial parts. These are the gears, bearings, pumps, valves. The stuff that's really the backbone of manufacturing and infrastructure.
Stuff businesses buy.
Exactly. Business buyers, obviously, will notice this first when they get their invoices from suppliers. But the impact won't stop there. Over time, these higher costs will filter down to the consumer products and services that rely on that machinery.
How so?
Well, whether it's the cost of manufacturing something you buy or even the cost of, say, a service call for a plumber using those parts, it eventually trickles down.
So bringing it all together then, what's the common thread here? It sounds like the products that will see early price movements share a few key characteristics. A high reliance on imports, quick inventory turnover, meaning there's not much old stock to cushion the blow, and of course, their direct inclusion on the tariff list. Those are the hot spots to watch.
That sums it up pretty well. High import share, short inventory cycles, and being on the list.
That leads us perfectly into our second big question, and one that I think often confuses people. Who pays, really? We know the importer pays the duty at the border, but what happens after that? Does it truly just pass straight through to us, the consumer?
Yeah, this raises an absolutely crucial question because it's rarely a simple, direct pass-through. Businesses essentially have three primary choices when faced with a new tariff cost.
Okay, what are they?
One, they can absorb the margin, meaning they eat the cost themselves to maintain their price point and competitiveness.
Keep prices the same, take a profit hit.
Exactly. Or two, they can try to split the price rise with their partners. Perhaps the manufacturer takes a hit, the retailer takes a hit too.
Share the pain.
Sort of, yeah. And finally, yes, the third option is they can pass it through entirely to the consumer.
The one we usually feel most. So what decides which path they take?
It comes down to several interwoven factors, really. Think about the level of market competition they face. If it's a cutthroat market, they're probably less likely to raise prices aggressively.
Right, they don't want to lose customers.
Then there are existing contract terms with their suppliers and retailers. Some agreements lock in prices for a certain period, so they might be stuck for a bit.
Okay.
Current inventory on hand is huge. If they have 6 months of old pre-tariff stock, they can delay those price changes.
Buys them time.
It does. The foreign exchange rate of their local currency versus the US dollar also plays a role. A stronger local currency can slightly cushion the blow of a USD-denominated tariff, making imports a bit cheaper in local terms.
Interesting.
And, crucially, the retailer's overall pricing power in the market. How much leverage do they really have with their customers? Can they raise prices without losing too much business?
So are we seeing different approaches already?
We've definitely started observing different brand behaviors as these situations unfold. Premium brands, with stronger brand loyalty, they often have the flexibility and maybe customer willingness to adjust their prices first.
People will pay more for the name.
Sometimes, yeah. Discounters, on the other hand, they tend to delay price increases for as long as humanly possible. They try to protect that everyday low-price image.
Makes sense for their brand.
And private label products, think of a store's own brand of something.
Yeah.
They can often hold prices longer because they have more control over the entire supply chain, at least until new tariff-affected invoices truly land in their system for the next production runs.
Okay, what about other strategies retailers might use?
Well, in terms of retail strategies, we're seeing a shift even before direct sticker price changes become widespread. There's often a noticeable pullback on promotions and sales.
The disappearing discount.
Exactly. It's a kind of quiet way to raise the average price paid without actually changing the number on the tag.
Sneaky.
Also, bundle offers are becoming a common alternative to pure price hikes. Packaging items together. It effectively spreads the cost increase across multiple items, making it maybe less obvious to the consumer that an individual item's cost has gone up.
Here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, a bit sneaky. So if your favorite store suddenly stops discounting a specific product that you used to reliably get on sale, like that particular brand of cordless drill you always waited for to drop in price, that's actually one of the earliest, quietest signals of a tariff impact starting to ripple through. It's a stealth price increase. What's the cleverness behind that strategy, and why should listeners be clued in to that subtle signal?
It's absolutely about managing customer perception and maintaining market share. A direct price increase can cause immediate sticker shock, right?
Yeah.
And it might send customers straight to a competitor.
Yeah, I'd probably shop around.
But pulling back on promotions.
Yeah.
That's less confrontational. It kind of relies on the fact that most customers don't meticulously track the promotional history of every single product they buy.
True. I don't remember every sale price.
So if that drill used to be $99 on sale every month and now it's just, $129 all the time, they've effectively increased the average price you pay by $30 without ever changing the list price, maybe. For the really astute shopper, recognizing this shift from frequent promotions to consistent full price is a critical early warning sign.
That's a powerful insight for anyone tracking their spending. Okay, now for our third core question, the timeline. When do these changes actually hit the shelves? Give me a realistic schedule that our listeners can use to anticipate these shifts in their daily shopping.
Okay, if we connect this to the bigger picture, we can probably break it into two main phases, each with distinct characteristics.
There's one.
In the immediate 0 to 30-day window, this is primarily when that pre-tariff inventory is clearing out. So you can expect to see maybe scattered price changes on faster-moving SKUs, those items that really fly off the shelf.
The popular stuff first.
Yeah. We'll definitely see that noticeable pullback on promotions we just discussed. And don't be surprised to encounter what we call shrinkflation.
Less product for the same price.
Exactly. That's where the product size is reduced, or maybe the quantity slightly less, while the price remains exactly the same, or sometimes even goes up slightly. It's a very subtle way to increase the per unit price.
Okay. What happens after that first month?
Moving into the 30 to 90-day period, this is typically when the new landed costs, meaning the new higher costs of getting products here after tariffs, freight, insurance, all of it, are fully baked into pretty much every price tag in the system.
So more widespread increases.
Yes. We anticipate broader SKU adjustments across various product lines, not just the fastest movers anymore. You'll likely see what we call mid-tier product substitution.
Meaning?
That's when shoppers, maybe instead of buying their usual brand of, say, a smart coffee maker, might pivot to a slightly cheaper, often less-known alternative because of the price difference.
Trading down, basically.
Essentially, yes. And behind the scenes, businesses will be actively experimenting with reroutes and maybe near-shoring supply chain strategies, moving production closer to home or to different countries to try and mitigate these new tariff costs long-term.
Trying to find ways around it.
Absolutely. And there's also a quiet but powerful driver in all of this that often gets overlooked.
What's that?
Freight and insurance costs. These can almost become like double tariffs. If port queues suddenly rise at major hubs like Los Angeles or Long Beach, or if, say, war risk surcharges are added to critical shipping lanes like the Suez Canal, these costs could lift prices again. That means prices could increase even without any new duties being implemented, simply due to the added expense and risk of just moving goods around the globe.
That's incredibly helpful for anticipating what's coming. So for our listeners, whether they're shoppers trying to budget or maybe business owners managing supply chains, what should they actually watch? Give us a kind of dashboard. What are the key signals to monitor right now?
Absolutely. First, keep a very close eye on port clearance times. Monitor major hubs, specifically the ports of Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Savannah are key ones to watch. Delays there are a direct, real-time indicator of potential supply chain friction and impending cost increases as products sit longer and incur more fees.
Okay, watch the ports. What else?
Second, use retailer price trackers if you can. Many online tools exist, or even just simply tracking specific product prices yourself can be invaluable. Focus on those specific examples we mentioned earlier: cordless drills, smart coffee makers, budget-friendly laptops, maybe EV charging cables, and specialized HVAC filters. Consistent price movements across these categories are telling signals.
Got it. Track specific items. Number 3.
Third, closely monitor freight and insurance bulletins. Particularly look for activity or rate changes on key global routes like the Trans-Pacific and the Suez Canal lanes. These reports can signal upcoming cost pressures, especially if there are geopolitical events or other unforeseen disruptions happening.
Stay tuned to shipping news.
Fourth, pay attention to company earnings calls and their guidance reports. When you hear executives or financial analysts talking about cost headwinds or pass-through or maybe promo normalization in their statements.
The buzzwords.
Exactly. Those are key indicators of how businesses are managing and reacting to the tariff impacts. They're essentially telling you what they're planning to do about costs.
Listen to what the companies are saying. And finally,
for your country, monitor your local currency's foreign exchange rate versus the U.S. dollar. If your local currency strengthens against the dollar, it can actually help cushion the tariff impact in some import categories, effectively making those imported goods a little cheaper in local terms, even with a tariff applied.
Okay, let's unpack this one last time then. In the near term, when all these factors are swirling around, who are the clear winners and losers from these tariff impacts? Who actually benefits and who gets squeezed?
Right. In the near term, the winners will largely be domestic substitutes. So, products made locally that now become more price competitive because the imported versions are certainly more expensive.
Made in USA gets a boost.
Potential, yes.
Yeah.
We'll also likely see benefits for nearshores, which are companies moving their production facilities closer to home, say from Asia to Mexico maybe, to bypass some of those tariff lanes.
Shorter supply chains.
And surprisingly, perhaps, certain logistics and insurance providers who facilitate these new supply chain configurations and reroutes might also see increased business.
Okay, so who's feeling the pain?
On the other hand, the groups feeling the most immediate pressure will probably include import-dependent small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. They often lack the negotiating power or the scale to easily absorb costs or find quick alternatives.
Harder for the little guys.
Definitely. Also, retailers who are aggressively competing purely on price will likely be squeezed as their margins shrink significantly if they try to maintain that low price image.
Tough spot for discounters.
Very much so. And of course, consumers in categories where there are very few domestic substitutes available for imported goods, well, they'll have little choice but to pay the higher prices eventually.
Yeah, so what's the overall takeaway here? The net effect seems to be that prices won't just spike uniformly everywhere all at once. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Instead, what we're going to see are more rapid and noticeable changes concentrated in specific product aisles and categories first, kind of spreading outward over the next few months. It's not really a blanket increase, but more of a targeted one initially.
Okay, good to know. So for the next 7 days, here's your watch list.
Keep an eye out for any final list clarifications from government agencies.
Details matter.
Any potential retaliatory measures from other countries, monitor port throughput efficiency for signs of congestion at places like LA or Long Beach.
Definitely watch the ports.
Listen for official retailer statements regarding pricing changes and track those critical foreign exchange swings that can subtly alter costs. We'll be here, of course, to provide updates as notices change and new data emerges.
Things can change quickly. They certainly can. If this deep dive helped you see past the headlines and truly understand the practical impacts of these tariffs on your daily life, then maybe consider this. As these tariffs begin to reshape global trade, how might they fundamentally alter the very idea of made in for generations to come? And what new innovations might that spark right in our own backyards? Next, tap South China Sea Standoff U.S. Navy versus China Explained for the map and risks, or National Guard in D.C., what federal control changes now for the on-air ground picture. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's update.